It's not a bomb. It's a fingerprint reader. And it does some special things. For one thing, unlike telephones, it cannot, and by the way, a lot of people think, oh, telephone fingerprint readers are good. No, they can be tricked. So if they can be tricked, they're, in my opinion, useless. They can be tricked with, devices like gelatin and so forth. This reader also tells whether or not the user is alive or dead. You can't, for example, chop off a thumb and use it. You can't kill somebody and move his fingers around and use it. And lastly, this device tells whether or not the person was actually a willing participant in the transaction, whether he wanted to do it, whether there was a gun at his head and he didn't want to do it, or whether there was no gun at his head and he wanted to proceed. So this is a new technological product. And I am going to see if this works. One of these buttons is going to work.
You may need to point it to the back of the room.
Pardon?
But if you try pointing it to the back of the room.
Back of the room.
Upper right button, please.
Let me see. So it's that one.
That one?
Oh, no, it's not working. We have a little problem.
Try it.
There you go, it's working now.
Ah, okay.
Howard, could you
Very good.
introduce yourself for the audience at home, please?
All right, so as it says, we address huge problems common to all cryptocurrencies and wallets, and then I'm going to also mention exchanges. There's 1,000 use cases for our product.
Sydney asks, would you reintroduce yourself for the audience at home, please?
Oh, I'm Howard Prager, and I'm the inventor of the biometric crypto wallet. Call it crypto biosecure transactions. And we address huge problems common to all cryptocurrency and wallets. It's the wrong direction, isn't it? And we have the key to secure digital transactions, and you, at least your fingers, are the key. It's a personal biometric fingerprint wallet. Other fingerprint readers can be fooled by a picture of your fingerprint, like the iPhone. As you can see with the Crypto Biosecure, an image or copy of your fingerprint will not work. I said, as you can see, well, this artist is attempting to use art to overcome that, but you don't even need to use art. You can, as I said, use gelatin. You can use a photograph, all kinds of ways to overcome other fingerprint devices. And biometric, there are other biometric devices that you can be fooled by, that can be fooled too, like the eye. That one is pretty hard to overcome, but the facial one, easy to overcome. There's this handsome fellow here who says, no passwords needed, okay? We can restore your seed. How many people have some form of cryptocurrency wallet? Just a couple, just a few. All right, so how many people have the inconvenience of worrying about remembering all of the passwords should they, Lord, lose their wallet or it gets destroyed? The same people that own wallets. Okay, there are basically two categories of wallets that. Let me see if I can go on. We went all the way to the end. There's basically two categories of wallets. There's one that's on the cloud and is very dangerous because they can be hacked. They have been hacked. We used to have some other slides that said how many millions of dollars have been hacked, and I don't see that here any longer. What was that, $75 million? Second slide. $15 billion have been lost to hacking. This same device will eliminate hacking. Eliminate it. No more hacking. No more hacking. It'll save your money. Good invention. We have, I have several minutes here, so I've hit the simple part of the investment of the invention, which is what is it and what does it do. There's 1,000 use cases that this product has. For one thing, with software, as we develop software, it has these various use cases, one of which is supplanting all the credit cards. You don't physically need the plastic when you have this device, because the device tells the creditor, the person that's selling you at the store that's selling you the product, that you are the owner of the card, the credit that is being issued by Visa or MasterCard and so forth, and therefore the transaction can go through instantaneously. It checks your fingerprint, you see, and anybody have the chip that you stick into the machine, and there's a delay. And by the way, I noticed here in Britain that the delay is shorter than it is in the United States. But there's a delay of 10, 15 seconds before they say, aha, now you can take the card out. Anybody experience that? You don't? You do, okay. So this would eliminate even the delay, because the device will know you are you. And that'll be instantaneous. And because you'll know you are you, the retailer, who is the one that has to refund the money in case the card is stolen, they're not at risk. And therefore, they can get their money instantaneously instead of having to wait for the companies that do the clearinghouse to do it at the end of the month. They can get their money right away. Why? Because there's no identity theft possible. Identity theft is dead in its tracks. Identity theft gone. In fact, on the blockchain, if you just establish who you are and what your biometric signature is, and you say, I am only going to sign things with my ITBiometric signature. That is my that is my signature. That means that nobody who is attempting identity theft can possibly pretend to be you, because this identifies who you are. So it becomes impossible. So this is, I like to say, like the safety pin. You know how you can use the safety pin for so many things? That's what I feel this is. And we're offering, in the United States, we're offering a Reg D offering, which is for accredited investors. The offering is a convertible note, convertible at 1/2 the actual price of when we go public, the public offering price. So that means that even though you could collect interest if you want, you have the opportunity instead to get double your money when we go public with for the stock. And so it's open to accredited investors. And as you heard me raise my hand and ask a question here earlier, could we actually simultaneously or concurrently do ICOs in Gibraltar? And I pursued the gentleman that I asked the question of, and we found out that it is worth pursuing, because I didn't have a lawyer saying, don't do it in Gibraltar. I had a lawyer saying, don't do it in the United States. But it's possible to do that, and there was a good reason, because there's so many use cases that the ideal game plan for my company is to work with as many independent software engineers as want to develop the different kinds of applications that can be done in some kind of a joint venture that we are organizing ourselves in such a way that we'll have the people that are available that can give those software engineers the other parts of the structure that make an ICO strong. For example, I met for lunch just a few days ago in Silicon Valley with the head of Stanford's IT department and a young man who's going to be added to our staff and who's a graduate from Columbia University. And what was proved by the conversation, they're both being added to our staff of people that will be able to help other people, help the other people. The Columbia University gentleman was the product manager for Citibank's international currency program. 2 minutes left? I don't even need the 2 minutes. Does anybody have any questions? Question. Somebody get this young lady.
I got one question for you before you go.
Get this young lady a microphone. Oh, here we go.
Here it is.
Go. Yes. Got 5 minutes.
Maybe it's a silly question
take this
or
microphone
two silly
someplace else?
questions, but I need to understand. You have a great idea, okay? But you said no more for hacking, so we'll protect hacking, okay? But when I need to save my data for my fingerprint, who will save these data?
Oh, it's actually the firmware on the device encrypts your fingerprint, okay?
This
And
information will be stored somewhere.
it's encrypted on the device.
The unique device, which is my device,
And
no?
it's encrypted, I put it in my pocket, it's encrypted on the device. However, you can, because it's Bluetooth and has Wi-Fi and
Yeah.
Bluetooth and near-field technology,
Yeah.
then you can also use, for example, download it on your computer, on your hard drive, or download it someplace else in your private concern, wherever you want it. So if you lose this, it doesn't matter. You can just get another one. But you still have what you need.
What are we going to next?
Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, but I'm still confused, to be honest.
Okay.
Because you
Ask
are
another
saying
question
now,
until you.
Yes, you are saying now that I can put all of this information on my computer, so somebody can hack my computer.
It's still encrypted.
Okay,
It's encrypted.
but it's saved somewhere. It's saved to the farm, you said, or to the company, no?
It's
Where is saved for the first time the information? For example,
in the device itself.
yes.
And the device itself will. You can copy the information to wherever you want, to a hard drive, to a thumb drive, to wherever you want.
Yeah.
And so you can have it in two places.
But if somebody is stealing my computer and the device at the same time,
Won't do them any good because it's encrypted.
somebody, very good on computers
It can decrypt it? I don't think so.
can have all my information, yes.
No, Andy.
Yeah, I think
Andy.
I think that's going to get
We
into
can
a.
talk to this lady.
Sorry if I'm
afterwards.
asking silly questions, but I need to
I think that's
understand.
going
I
to
have,
get
I have
into
my
a.
top technical talent right here, and he will talk to you and
We're gonna
at the
move
end of this, and he will explain to you how that's not possible. Okay.
I think we're going to have to address that in the networking, and it's going to be quite a technical answer, and probably should be. So, I'd just like to say thank you, Howard, for your presentation.
Thank you.